Get peace of mind with the RV Advisor's extended warranty for as low as $14 per month. Visit thervadvisor.com today.
Little birdie told me I need RV advice.
Get information straight from the horse's mouth.
Little birdie told me I need RV advice.
It's Just Ask Gigi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. Now here's Gigi and Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Just Ask Gigi. My name is Tom Alexander. And of course, I am joined by the star of the show. It is Gigi Stetler. Hey,
Hi.
Gigi. How are you?
Friend, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. And a lot going on as usual at the RV Advisor headquarters. And, I know that I will say this, here in South Florida, this time of the year, it starts to get really hot and humid. The humidity has so far been at we've tempered that. The heat is here, but the nights have been amazingly beautiful. They've been really comfortable. Yeah. Hopefully that'll stay for longer than normal because we're already hunkering in for the wave of humidity that seems to last forever. And the reason I bring that up is, and we're going to talk about this later in the show, is protecting your RV. Covers and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to chat about that in a few minutes. But I know that you have some information and some thoughts on inspectors. So let's hear what that's all about.
Well, actually, I'd like to start off by removing my mask.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
I am fully vaccinated and I am like itching to Girls Gone Wild, be wild and have fun and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the same.
I hear, we've all been, going through the same thing of just trying to, restore our lives back to some sense of normalcy and feel like we can go out and have a good time. I'm turning on the TV and I'm seeing ball games where there's actual fans there, and that's kind of cool to see. And so things are
filling up and
it's starting to feel a little real now. And I'm glad that you're all fully vaccinated and off goes the mask. That's terrific.
It's just like an unveiling.
It really, that was good. That was pretty cool. So inspectors. Yeah.
So, I have been encouraging members to, if they're buying something out of their area, whether it's used, off RV Trader or, at a dealership advertised and they're not there to inspect it themselves, or even if they are, they want a good certified RV inspector. So as I encourage members, and I have a member GPS client, and so she had me reviewing her inspection report, and it was, I thought it was very thorough. It was like, I don't know, 65, 70 pages, which, is about right. And so I'm getting to the first part of the inspection, and it said it showed all these pictures of the chassis and the axles and the tires and the springs and this and that. And then I was looking through the paperwork for the test drive inspection. And I finally get to the bottom and it says, did not drive the unit because of insurance regulations. Well, that's a huge problem. And I had no idea that, inspectors are not, or this one in particular is not test driving. Do not hire an inspector that will not test drive a vehicle, an RV. Do not, because that is the most important thing. As a matter of fact, he should do the driving first before you even get to the rest of it, and maybe save yourself some time and money, because if it drives terrible, it's pulling to the left or right, or if there's issues with it, or the check engine light comes on, or other signs that have an engine issue, you don't need to go any further. Get those sorted out first before you go any further. So anyway, I was quite surprised. And the other thing was, if you're having it inspected on a dealership's lot, now the dealer knows and should know first off, I would assume that they would have done their own PDI to know what's working and what's not working before they get busted with the inspector. But make sure that if you're buying an RV and it has an onboard generator, make sure that there's enough fuel in the generator or in the coach, because a generator will not start if it's less than a quarter of a tank of fuel. So this same inspection, the inspector couldn't inspect the generator, couldn't turn it on, and couldn't run it on a load or any of that because there was less than a quarter of a tank of fuel. So one of two things happened. The dealer knew the generator didn't work, so
Yeah.
he purposely didn't put any fuel in it, or, I mean, there was just, or somebody's that dumb. I mean, that's just, but, the inspector should have, demanded the dealer to go and put some fuel, something. So the poor, consumer, I don't know, spend $600, $700, $800 on this inspection. And the two most important things, we have no results.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, certified inspectors. And if you, as an RV advisor member, you can send me that inspection report and I'll review it. But, just make sure that when you're hiring them, I know there's different tiers. So make sure when you're hiring an inspector, look at the different tiers and make sure you don't need the fluids tested. You don't need to go that far. I find that that's, not necessary. But you do want them to drive it. You do want them to inspect the belts and things like that.
Right.
Only if it's an older coach. If it's a newer coach, 18, 19, maybe 17, belts and stuff should be okay. You'll, if it's squeaking, you'll know that there's a loose belt or something like that. But just really look at of what they're going to give you
Yeah.
for money that you're paying to make sure you get a thorough inspection.
Very important and obviously great advice. We're going to obviously get some other great advice when we ask you a couple of questions from our viewers, as we do each week. But we want to tell you about something, Gigi. This is great. A new partner with us. It's Empire Covers. You go to empirecovers.com. RV season, Gigi, as you well know, is finally here, but the change of seasons also brings weather that can tarnish or damage your vehicle. Whether you own an RV, a travel trailer, or a camper, Empire Covers is here to help you protect all your vehicles against good old Mother Nature, right? And we remember from years ago, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Empirecovers.com. Protect what you love. And we'll talk more about that on the other side. This is Just Ask Gigi. She's Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander. Back in just a moment.
GPS is Gigi's personal services. She's an RV expert with over 3 decades of experience. Visit thervadvisor.com today.
We are back on Just Ask Gigi. I'm Tom Alexander, and of course, Gigi Stetler with us. And Gigi, we're going to do some questions. We always have our viewer questions on this program, and we'll do that a little differently this time. We'll do it in the final segment, but we want to talk about covering your vehicle, the importance of covering your vehicle, specifically our new partner Empire Covers, with some wonderful products that they have, right?
Yeah, it's funny. So our good girl Kelly, she had connected us with Empire, and so I started talking to my brother about Empire Covers, and they actually sent us a sample, but I didn't have anything that small to put it on. But I was, looking at the fabric of it. It's like amazing product. So my brother strolls over and he's like, "Oh, I use Empire Covers for all my cars." And Ivan, like, is a car collector, crazy person that never does anything with the car. So they've been undercover for 5, 6, 7 years. And he's
right. So it's a supermarket of automobiles, right?
Yeah, but it was just so funny because Ivan literally doesn't drive them. He doesn't do anything with them, but they're covered by Empire Covers. But so he says, he says, I have to say, that's the most amazing company, because I've had a car covered for 5 years, and the cover started to get a little worn, and I took it off and I sent it back, and they sent me a brand new cover. So
Wow.
I know. So I was like, wow, it's exactly what I said. And he said, yeah, he said the company is amazing.
Yeah.
So, which I love to hear that, because I don't like to partner with anybody that has any bad thoughts on a company. In fact,
Right.
we ended a relationship and canceled their contract on a product that didn't work. We
Yeah.
just don't want to, that's not what we're about. So,
Right.
but anyway, so the cover, it was pretty funny. We were trying to video putting the cover on, and no one read the box that it was for a 14-foot, and we were trying to put it on a 30-foot trailer. So there was like 3 of us in the wind. It was quite funny. So, but I'm sure that they have a far better video of how to put the cover on. But, in all the years, I used to say that, covering them is not really good, because they need to breathe, but it's a breathable fabric, which is great, because that's a problem down here in South Florida. You don't want to trap moisture, in the camper. But the way the RVs have been coming in lately to the shop for repairs and stuff, the weather has been brutal. So, from snow to hot boiling sun, I think, covering them is definitely, a way to go to preserve the paint, the stripes. The other thing that happens with the roofs, these rubber roofs,
Mhm.
The elements, the rain and snow, when they get on that rubber roof, it oxidizes, and it puts off a white, chalky substance
Yeah, like a powder. Yeah.
film. And then when
Yeah.
it does rain, or if you wash it, it all runs down the sidewalls, and that's what takes the paint or
Mhm.
strip gel coat or your clear coat off. So
Right.
a cover could be your best friend. So
Yeah.
whether it's your car, your RV, motorcycle, boat, they have it for everything. In fact, I think we're going to order one for Jared's jet skis, because that cover that came with it was not an Empire cover, and it fell apart in a year. So
Mm.
so we'll be looking at that.
Yeah. Well, that's critical stuff. And we'll take a quick peek here at
And a
folks.
discount, right? RV Advisor members get, I think, 15%
Yes, viewers
off.
can receive free shipping plus an extra 15% off their entire order. And you do that by visiting empirecovers.com/RV Advisor, or use the promo
Awesome.
code RV Advisor when you go to check out. So that's really cool. empirecovers.com. Don't want to miss out on all the great products that they have. When we come back, oh, and by the way, we'll take a quick peek here at Empire Covers in action with a snippet of this video. Take a look.
We'll begin this video by offering a few tips before you start to cover your RV. First, be sure to close all windows, sunroofs, vents, and retract all pop-outs. Don't ever attempt to cover a wet vehicle or a hot tailpipe. Covering your RV should always be done with 2 or more people capable of heavy lifting. To begin, remove or detach any roof antennas from the vehicle. Tape or cover any potentially sharp edges that could wear against the cover. Make sure the levels on your RV are down so that it's grounded and stable. Next, carefully open the box containing your RV cover so that you don't cut into the cover itself. Take the new cover out of the box. Remove it from its protective bag. Using a ladder or the steps on the back of the RV, carefully climb to the roof of the vehicle with the cover. Once you have the cover on the roof, untie the straps that hold it together. Starting in the center of the roof, begin to unravel the front of the cover towards the front of the vehicle and the back of the cover towards the rear. Be mindful of any sunroofs or lights that you could trip over. Start with the front corners of the cover and toss them over the front of the vehicle. Your helper can assist by pulling the cover down into the appropriate positioning. Toss the sides of the cover over the sides of the RV as you work your way towards the back of the vehicle. Your helper can make adjustments from the ground along the way. Climb down the ladder at the rear of the RV, pulling the cover along with you as you descend. Once down, make adjustments to the cover, such as tucking the elasticized corners over both bumpers of the RV. Truck campers, as well as Class A, B, and C RVs, come with straps and buckles. However, Folding campers, toy haulers, travel trailers, and fifth wheel campers come with D-rings and rope instead. Click the strap into its buckle, then toss it under the RV to the other side. Your helper can clip the rest of the strap into its buckle. Adjust the strap lengths for a snug fit. Fasten the straps into the front and rear buckles on the RV to form an X over the front and rear panels. Be sure not to over-tighten. Class B and folding campers do not have front and rear cinching straps. Covering your RV when not in use is a great way to protect it for years to come.
All right, there you go. That is pretty cool stuff. The folks at Empire Covers doing what they do best, and even in the winter months, as you can see. It's really great to have. Winter, summer, any time of year, empirecovers.com. When we come back, we've got your questions, and we'll wrap things up right here on Just Ask Gigi. Back in just a moment. Tom Alexander from the RV Advisor podcast here. What's more fun than campfire cooking? The Wolfram Stick. Enjoy marshmallows, biscuits, hot dogs, and more. It's next level campfire cooking. Visit wolframstick.com. Wrapping things up now on Just Ask Gigi along with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander, and Gigi, we have our questions for you. First one is from Alan. Alan writes, getting ready to be a first timer, if you will. Recommend leasing or buying?
Well, there's no such thing as leasing, like as in the car business.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
He didn't know that, and neither did I. So there you go.
Renting, like short-term renting, I highly recommend get on RV Share and rent a couple of different models before you figure out what you want, because you won't know what you want until you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, renting short-term. But as far as leasing, yes, there's no program out there quite yet because the residual is too high, and there's not been anybody. I mean, unless your bank is offering something that I don't know about, but yes, there's no leasing programs that I'm aware of because of they've never been able to set a residual value on them. So, yeah.
Okay, well then there you go. That's a valuable piece of information for Alan, and for me as well, for that matter. I think maybe a lot of people out there assume that if they've never done it before, that it works like cars, and apparently it doesn't work exactly.
2 years.
It doesn't.
But he may be talking about renting, and if he is talking about renting,
Yeah.
I highly, highly, highly recommend to rent 3 or 4 times. Different models, different vehicles. RV Share, there's one in every neighborhood.
Mhm.
And try out different, whether you're going to tow or you're going to drive, big, small, this, that, rent a few different features and models so that you can, get an idea of what you may want to own for 15 or 20 years.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you. That's Alan's question. Thanks, Alan. Tina writes, any advice for transitioning to being a first-time full-timer? Wow, well, you got a book. Right,
Yeah.
there's a lot there, right?
First-time full-timer. Well, I guess if you're already been RVing for holidays, or extended holidays, the transition would not be as difficult. If you're going right from your brick and mortar's home, just like the odd couple did.
Yeah.
If you're going from your brick and mortar's home to first time moving into a camper,
Mhm.
again, kind of the same situation of what the odd couple found themselves in is, they did the leap. They thought they wanted the fifth wheel. They made mistakes. They bought from Camping World, had a bad experience. But the thing is that you've got a couple of things. If you haven't sold your house yet and you are planning to do full timing, and you are first time buying the RV, buy it before you sell the house, because they're going to have kinks, especially if you're buying a new one. So try to buy it while you're still in the house so you could take it out and get all the kinks out before you full time and move into it. Because the thing is, if you have kinks, it's hard to drop it off at the dealership's lot for repairs when you live in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so that's, so, so try to do a 2 or 3 month local, even if it's the driveway, living in it, to get all the kinks out, because you don't want to be on the road, throw everything you own in it, and then, the first month out, you have an air conditioner, refrigerator problem or something that,
Right.
that you need, service, and
Yep.
they make you wait.
Mhm.
So that is probably the best advice I can give you, is to not sell the house and go, around the road right away.
Well,
Try to,
that's excellent advice. Well, thank you, Tina, for that question. Thank you, Alan, as well. And if you have a question for Gigi right here on Just Ask Gigi, very simple, info@thervadvisor.com. That's info@thervadvisor.com. And just put in the subject line, Just Ask Gigi or JAG. And we'll get your question answered. Make every effort to. And well, that's it for another week. We want to just let everybody know that we hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend, and an extra day, right, to sort of chill out and barbecue and hang out by the pool or whatever you like to do. And thanks so much, Gigi. As always, love talking to you on this show every week, every Thursday. So we'll see you next week.
Yep.
What's that?
I said, I can't wait for us to all be together again.
Hopefully sooner than later. We've been saying that a while, but it's going to happen. I promise you. All right. Just Ask Gigi, another show in the books. For Gigi Stetler, I'm Tom Alexander. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. So long, everybody.
Happy Memorial Day.